Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to tell you about the fantastic years when I had finally gotten away from this boyfriend in Geiselhöring. He wasn't good for me at all. Not with 23, he was good with 17, 18, 19. But first, I'm gonna go back to my work, Winkelhofer Music Shop, because he got a lot of what's going against him
Competition.
competition. Over the years when I started there, it was the biggest music shop in Regensburg, and then there was a little music shop, and the old woman who owned it died and gave it to
Son?
salesman.
Oh, a salesman, okay. She gave the shop to a salesman.
Yeah,
Okay, he inherited it.
yeah.
Cool dude.
So he decided to open a really big shop just round the corner from us. And
Hate those capitalists, don't you? You hate them capitalists.
yeah, hate them. Really hate them. Then in Gewerbe Park,
That's
out
like the industrial
the
area of Regensburg,
industrial
yeah?
park, there was a big opening of a sound actual, it was called, and they sold electric guitars and
Sound Actuals was one of the,
amplifiers.
it's like where all the bands would go, the
Yeah,
rock bands and
so
stuff, yeah?
we lost a lot of the bands too.
So you ended up with just the violins and the umpar bands and all that, yeah?
Yeah. And the rent got up in our shop.
Uh-huh.
So my boss decided to move to a smaller shop. So all the others got bigger, we got smaller.
More bespoke, more private,
Yeah,
more exclusive.
and it was not in the middle of town again, but more in the east, a bit outside the centrum.
Uh-huh.
And of course, we couldn't afford a big van that moved us all. So we had to do it privately on the weekend. All of us had to drive from Kreislöhring to Regensburg with my little car. And then we packed a delivery van full of stuff. And we just worked and worked on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And we went over the new shop, and of course, for us youngsters, it was quite okay. It wasn't as old, but it was sunny and warm. But the senior boss, he hated it. And he came in his new workshop and he said, I don't know my shop anymore.
So it was the young boss that decided to move.
Yeah.
The son of the original owner.
Yeah.
And his dad was not pleased, no?
Not at all.
Oh dear.
But what can you do? It was all about money again.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we had the pianos and the organs upstairs in another room.
In the new shop, yeah?
In the new new shop, but it was just flat. It wasn't stairs anymore.
So how did they get upstairs then?
No, it was in the back.
Oh, right. So in the new shop, there was only one floor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the shop I met you in, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
okay. So it's got like a front with a counter and where you could go and talk to people. Then there was a back room with all the instruments in.
Yeah,
Oh, that's only smaller though, wasn't it? It wasn't as big as the big shop.
that's right.
How many pianos would you fit in there then? 2 or 3, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a bit more, maybe 4 or 5.
Upright pianos, yeah.
Yeah,
And the guitars hanging on the wall.
right.
So how was the new shop? What was different for you?
For me,
Was there more people or less people working
there's
there?
people, the same people working there,
Mm-hmm.
but Holzapfel,
Mm-hmm.
my favorite colleague at the workshop,
Mm-hmm.
he was downstairs in the cellar.
Oh, he was relegated to the cellar, was he?
Because there he could do the electronics and all things, but in a way it wasn't the same anymore, but life goes on. And
Holzapfel.
and the best thing was there was a young guy coming and he said, I'm gonna clean your windows once a week for 10 marks. And my boss said, 10 marks is not so bad, and window cleaning is not my favorite job. So he said yes. And I fell immediately in love. I didn't even know him. And I always got dressed up on Fridays when he came to clean the windows. And
Did you ever hook up with him?
yeah, little bit, and that was the good thing, because I went and asked him whether he wanted to go out with me one evening.
Mm-hmm.
It was unheard in these days that a girl starts a conversation but didn't care. Yeah, and he was a student in Regensburg, and I saw things in him which he wasn't just by the way he looked.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't really the guy I would have liked normally. Yeah, but that made me decide to find a little flat in Regensburg.
Because of him?
Yeah, I think that I think I would have done it anyway, but
Mm-hmm. So living 40 miles away was ruining your love life?
not really, no, but it was just a little fling anyway. It
Okay.
wasn't really love life. And one day in the morning, I was always early in Regensburg because my little sister worked in Regensburg too. I don't know whether I've told you. And so I was always in Regensburg at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Because you were going in with Ushi?
Yeah. And I started working at 9. So I got the paper in the morning and it said 2 rooms for rent zur schönen Gelegenheit 12.
And zur schönen Gelegenheit in English means to a nice opportunity. But the actual street was called zur schönen Gelegenheit, yeah?
And I thought that's great in the middle of town. 2 rooms are enough, because I work a lot anyway. Of course, there was no kitchen, but I had a little stove,
Like a hot plate.
yeah, where I could warm things up and I could get a pizza on the way home from the pizzeria, so I was never starving or anything. And so I called the guy in the morning at 8:15. He said, if you want, you can come now and have a look. Came round. It was way up. I had to climb many stairs. And he showed me the rooms, and I loved it like that. I said, yeah, I would like to take it. Okay, take it. The guy was happy that he didn't have to show other people around.
Uh-huh. Do you remember how much it was at the beginning?
It was 350 marks a month.
350 marks a month.
Yeah.
That's 15 euros a month.
And,
No, 150 euros a month.
175 euros a month.
Yeah? Jeez.
But as I said, it was only 2 rooms, and there were already a bed in here and a wardrobe.
So you could just move straight in?
Yeah.
What did your parents say?
They said, yeah, fine. Because they love Regensburg as well, because they were both from Regensburg. And the thing is, the theater was just around over the street, really close, and the Nightingale too, which is
Important.
important, yeah. Because whenever I got a new neighbor in the other 2 rooms, the first evening I took her to the Nightingale, and from that time on we were best friends.
Because you got drunk together.
Yeah.
So was anybody in the other 2 rooms when you moved in?
Yeah, but that was a girl and she was about to move out again.
Mm-hmm.
And then Annie came.
So basically you were only there for a couple of weeks before she
Yeah.
moved out, and then you got a new neighbour, so you were the oldest tenant, if you like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we shared a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us had 2 rooms, a bedroom and a living room. And that was it. And when you open the windows, wow, that was so good. You were way up over the roofs of the old town.
And it is a beautiful old town, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's the town of towers, isn't it? It's got lots of towers
Yeah.
in it. All the olden days they were building towers. Who was the biggest? Who was the richest? Yeah.
And when I lay in bed in the night, and in summer I always slept with the window open, I could hear the drunkards coming back from Nightingale.
Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
That was a good thing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Because you were one of them at one point.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of.
Didn't go there on my own, just with a friend, because it was mostly old people who went to Nightingale. Yeah. Let me think what else.
So tell me about the way to work and back. Now you were walking. What do you used to do?
Now I'm working. That was fantastic because I could sleep a lot longer in the morning because the shop opened at 9. So I slept till 8-ish, had a nice little breakfast, and then I walked to work along the Danube.
So you go from your flat down to the Danube
Yeah,
and walk along and then come back up.
right.
Okay. Did you always go that way, or did you go through Heidplatz sometimes?
At times I went through Heidplatz or to the cathedral and along the cathedral.
So that's a nice walk as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they were very nice walk.
Past the old town hall and the Ratskeller.
Uh,
Was that a restaurant then, or
yeah,
yeah?
especially on Christmas time, it was so good to walk there with all the lights
And you'd pass the Hofbräuhaus as well, wouldn't you? The Münchener Hofbräuhaus, but they've got one in Regensburg as well, haven't they?
yeah. It was just good. And I could smell the Zuckerrüben in foil.
So it was the raw sugar beets in the sugar factory.
Yeah.
That was a horrible smell, but
It was a horrible smell, but I liked it.
it's tradition, wasn't it? It was like
Yeah. In fall, when I went back along the cathedral and the fog was coming down and foggy everywhere, and then the Zuckerrüben smell.
the sugar beets,
Sugar beets.
Zuckerrüben.
Yeah.
So what did you do for fun once you were in the schöne Gelegenheit?
A lot. Because my neighbor, Anne, she had a friend, Maria, and they were looking for a Schafkopf companion.
Schafkopf is a bit like bridge,
Yeah.
card game, but very Bavarian. Played with the Bavarian cards, yeah?
Right. And once a week we met in Maria's little flat where she lived with Loni. And we had a lot of fun there. It was a really old couch where we sat down and played cards and drank beer. And
Because you were all Bavarian beer drinkers.
yeah,
No, not all of you, right? Loni was
Loni was
North German.
from the north. Yeah.
And Annie?
Was a Edelpreis from Munich.
Ah, okay. And did you go out drinking at all?
Not a lot, but when I felt like going out for a beer and I didn't have any companions, I went to the Irish shop.
The Irish bar right on the corner of Bridge Street by the oldest stone bridge.
Because that was the only place where you could go on your own as a woman and drink a beer or two and watch the live music.
All the other places were like old traditional Wirtshauses with old men and...
Or even student bars, it would have looked a bit weird if you went there and sat on the table as a woman on your own.
Well, you wouldn't be alone for long if I know the students.
Probably. Yeah.
So what type of bands were in the Irish bar? Was it mostly Irish bands? Or?
A few American Dave Bonney.
Dave Bonney, you knew him before I did, didn't you?
Yeah. Steve.
Steve Shorrock,
Yep.
another great musician.
Then Izzy's kid.
Izzy Skins, that was the barman's band, wasn't it? Rick, Peter, James, and
Thomas Fishdick.
Thomas Fishdick, the drummer. And you were in love with him, weren't you, kid?
Yeah, not in love, but
Everybody was in love with him.
he was good looking.
He still is, you know. I follow him on Facebook.
Yeah, but I can't see it anymore.
That's true. He's I think he's married to a Portuguese or a Spanish woman. Living in Austria, I think, you know.
Really?
So Izzy Skin, who else was on there? The Dangerous Brothers,
Yeah.
Peter Bond, and
It's on my tongue.
on the tip of your tongue,
The Spock
Spock and Little John.
and Little John.
Yeah. What were they called? No, the Fiascos were Dave Bonney and Jim Klopfenstein.
Yeah, it was a fantastic time then. On my own. And when I had been going out in the evening, I could sleep even longer. 8:30 and then rush to work.
So you've been out to the Irish Harp. Did you go to the theatre when it was so close?
Oh yes, that's what I wanted to say. I loved it. And I went to the theatre quite often. I got a Platz meeting card.
Which means it's a regular seat, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regular seat once a month and about 2. Because my mom liked this theatre too. So sometimes when it was my turn, she came and we went to the theatre together. And
So it's like a timeshare
yeah,
seat.
right, once a month.
But the program didn't change that often, did it? Really? Did you get to see every show?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the good ones, my mom wanted to come as well. Then after the theater, we went out for a drink somewhere. And she went home to Geiselhöring. And I went to her zur schönen Gelegenheit.
Also, she didn't stay overnight in your place?
No.
No.
Didn't have space and it wouldn't have been a bed, just a little seat. And yeah, and there was this actor, which I also fell in love with. And whenever he played Romeo once, Romeo and Juliet. And he played Don Carlos once. And I went to this place about 3 or 4 times.
The play was you saw the play 3-4 times because you like the actor.
Yeah.
Cool dude. Did he notice you in the audience?
No. Because sometimes I just paid a really cheap card.
In the gods.
And walked over to the theater, went up, watched it, went back home again.
Do you not wait out the stage door to get his autograph or something, or
No.
throw yourself in front of him?
No. I wasn't that desperate.
Until you met me, right?
I think that was it for now, yeah.
So back to Regensburg for a minute. What are you going to talk about next time?
I think if I remember something I have forgotten to say,
Mm-hmm.
but then I'm gonna meet Timmy baby.
Oh, next time you're going to meet Timmy baby. Stay
Yep.
tuned, ladles and jelly spoons. Cool dude. Gonna say tra?
Yeah. Ta.
See ya. Wouldn't wanna be ya.
Bye.